All right, what's up, everybody? Golficity Live, December 26th, the day after Christmas. I hope everybody woke up to some new golf clubs under the tree this year. Mike, we got some exciting stuff to talk about. We're shooting another vlog down in New York City tomorrow. I want to talk about that. As always, guys, if you got some comments, you want to interject something, leave your comments below, and we'll throw those up here on the screen, and Mike and I will answer some of your questions. I want to get some of your opinions. We got some Mike's mailbag. We got a bunch of stuff. I see it sitting there behind you, Mike. I can't wait to dive into that in a minute.
It's here. I'm excited to unveil what is in the box, actually what are in the boxes. So we'll get to that shortly. Right, Frank?
Yeah, can't wait for that. Before we do, let's talk a little bit about this vlog episode that we got next week. So it's cold, 17 degrees where I'm at right now. It's ridiculous. But we got to move indoors. We're going to do it the right way. We had just 2 weeks ago, we did our vlog episode with Ben Shear. That was awesome. Little fitness training thing. This week though, Mike, we've been there once before, and actually our very first vlog episode, but we're going to be heading back to Golf and Body in New York City. I mean, what other way to explain this other than it's like a golfer's dream, like clubhouse. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna throw some of these pictures up here. If anybody hasn't been to Golf and Body, check this out. They got, what is it, 4 simulator bays. I mean, this place is like you died and went to heaven. And then here I got another one here for you. Then you got like a little the putting area. You got that upstairs. We got the workout area. They got food there. Remember this? Mike will remember this spot. If anyone's gonna remember it, it's gonna be you, Mike.
Yeah, that is the practice putting green where I sank the $18,000 putt that's taking us to Bay Hill in about 80 days.
That's it, man. That's the spot. And I'm telling you, if you haven't had a chance, right after this, go over to YouTube, go to Golficity, go to our first vlog episode, and check it out. Mike nails the pressure putt, and we're going to be gearing up for that. Actually, coming up really soon. We got to start getting that game in order because how many? I know you've got this like somehow on like a big ticker in your house somewhere. What's the countdown? How many days? Do you know?
We're in the 80s. I think we're like 85, maybe a little less than that. I don't have the exact number, but as it gets closer, I will have the exact number. I'm going to get excited. I'm going to start getting my clubs in order. I'm going to start getting the games in order. Games all around, putting game, short game, everything, as well as equipment and everything else. So tomorrow is just the starting point to my journey to Bay Hill because we're going through this awesome fitness assessment. We're going through a club fitting. And everything like that. So it's going to be fun tomorrow. I'm actually
you're getting fit for a set of irons. I'm getting fit for a driver. I got a lot of questions. You know, I'm very interested in this because I've been fit for irons before. Driver, you know, I got the obvious questions. You think like, all right, what, you know, shafts, you know, firm, regular, whatever. You've got some adjustability in the head now, loft, but really I know there's got to be more that goes into it. We're going to be working with some of the best club fitters, you know, anywhere. So I'm really excited to be there. What that is. We're going to be that vlog episode should drop shortly after, a couple days after, but if you want to follow along with it, we'll be all over Snapchat, Instagram, and we're going to try to do a little Instagram live while we're down there. So make sure you follow that at Golficity on every one of those channels. Just hop in there and check it out. As well as for these live sessions, just a quick reminder, make sure you hit that turn on live notifications on our Facebook page so that you're able to jump in the conversation on these when we're here. I see that we already have some comments rolling in. Check that out. So we've got
here we get that up there. That's Sharon Paul. Am I pronouncing that right? I hope I am. Hello from Cowboy Stadium. What's up, buddy? Good to see you every week. You tune in. I love seeing the same faces as well as some new ones.
Texas flag there, man. There you go. All right. So one quick thing before I want to dive into this Mike's mailbag this week because this is going to be awesome. But if you haven't had a chance to check it out as well, the podcast episode this week, which just dropped on Sunday, kind of a weird week with the holiday and everything's kind of mixed up. But we did an entire episode looking ahead to 2018, some huge things on the fire for Golficity, for PGA Tour, for golf in general, equipment. We've got a ton of stuff to test, ton of equipment to test. So that's all going to be coming up in 2018. This week's podcast episode, definitely check that out. We run through all of that, as well as recapping some of what you guys had contributed to the conversation here on the live stream. We talked about that on the podcast. So check that out. That's on iTunes. That's on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify now. So it's everywhere. You can find it. Definitely check that out. But I won't delay this any longer because I'm getting excited. He's got a beer in hand.
I'm cheersing, man. Absolutely. It's a good one. When the presents come in the day after Christmas as well, it's always a good thing.
So we got to get a theme song for this. Like I'm ready for a theme song for Mike's mailbag.
I think we can get one made.
We got any creative viewers out there who want to contribute one? Send it in.
I love it.
I'd love to check that out. So, all right. So as a little bit of background on this, we get a ton of stuff sent to us, week after week. And we decided to do a new segment where we're just going to open it live here just to see what it is. We don't even know what's come in. So, Mike, over to you. Check it out. Let's see what we got.
Yeah. So before I open up these things right here, I want to, speaking of Mike's mailbag, what's in the box, a couple of live episodes ago, we did one, and our friends over at Lampkin sent over some putting grips. So, Frank, let's do something fun. Let's do like a flash giveaway. All right.
Cool. Yeah.
Let's just do this. We'll make it very simple. The first 3 people to DM us on Instagram at Golficity. You can't, it's right here on my shirt, at Golficity. We're going to give them away, USA only, so if you're in the United States, first 3 people to DM us, we're sending you a putter grip from Lampkin. How cool is that, right?
That's awesome.
Also, one other thing, Frank, check this out. This came in. I got one of these for the missus. The Golficity tanks for the ladies.
Nice. Now we just need some sun.
Now we just need some sun. And then, dude, I'm loving this red. It's going to be worn tomorrow in our vlog with the hat that you're wearing, so just want to let you know that. So let's do it. What do we got? First one here is from our friends at 36 Golf. These guys have a lot of cool things. And Frank, you've seen these guys on Instagram, right?
I see them all over Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. This is nice, right? I like the way it's packaged up. Always love the welcome card. I'm going to read that. Frank and Mike, wishing you an epic Christmas and a birdie-filled 2018. Keep on doing what you're doing for the game. All the best, Chevy and Jay. Guys, thank you so much. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yes. We like our hats, right, Frank?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. We got a couple of hats, a couple little pouches here. You can get creative with this. Golf balls, tees, whatever you want. Wow, these are some really awesome quality. Wow, I'm really digging this. I might not give you any of those, Frank.
It's where Mike hides the flask.
Yep, exactly. Shirts. Really cool. You know what? Throughout the last 5 years, Frank, you and I have received shirts and gear from a number of different places. And the one thing that always, I noticed right away is the quality of these things. If you could sleep in them and be comfortable, and wear them anywhere, this is some of the best material I ever felt. That's a pretty sweet shirt. And then this one's really cool. I love this. I love the font on this. Check this out. I saw this shirt online.
That is cool. That is cool.
So that's really cool right there. Guys, this stuff's awesome. Check them out. 36 Golf. We appreciate it, guys. Love the gear. Frank, I'll hook you up with gear next time I see you.
Nice.
And but we'll see if I'm going to do that. I'll see if I'm going to be nice enough to do that.
What he's not telling you is what's in that bag that he doesn't show everybody. So
I know, exactly, right?
Tuck it under the table for himself, right?
All right, here's the big one. This one is it's the size of a golf club, right?
Uh-oh.
And it's from our friends at Bomb Tech Golf. Love it. I know.
I actually had the opportunity to review the grenade, the original grenade driver. That it's kind of funny, like going back, like even the video production, it's like old school. But it was like 2 years ago. I did that on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. So that's cool. I'm interested to see what they got there. So let's see what we got.
Well, you said grenade. Check it out. Grenade 2. We got the Grenade 2 driver in the house, boys and girls. And I know you and I are going to put this through the ringer in a week or so. I'm actually really looking forward to this. And you know what? You and I are probably going to fight over this one. We usually like to give away a lot of the gear that we get to our fans and listeners and viewers. But you know what I'm saying? I say we put this through the ringer in a simulator, compare it to our current drivers, and whoever does better, whoever has the biggest improvement, because I know these guys do good work, then you keep it. How do you like that?
Right? I like that. I want to compare it right up against the one, too.
Yes.
Because that was an excellent club. I had a chance to play with a club fitter down at Bethpage Black, and he loved it. The only complaint, if anything, he had about the club was that for a little bit of a higher handicapper, it wasn't super forgiving.
Okay.
But he put it right alongside with some of the biggest names. But I know they made some improvements. If anybody hasn't checked them out, great company. They do everything I know here right in the U.S. They work with, I think it's the University of Vermont's engineering team is the one who helps them to actually engineer these things. Let's see. I want to see the face on that. Yeah, it looks like, yep, they've added a little bit of forgiveness there by just kind of rounding it out. That toe, that's nice. 10.5. I like it, Mike. I can't wait to swing it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this one.
Yeah, we are.
So Sully and the boys, thank you so much for sending this as well. Can't wait to try it out.
That's cool. Maybe we can do a giveaway with those coming up soon too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I know it's kind of a quiet week sitting here between the holidays. You know, we got another 3-day weekend coming up with New Year's, but we're trying to stay busy. There has been some news. I want to get some of your take on this, Mike. I also want to get the take of you guys out there. So make sure you throw them in the comments. We'll throw them up here. This first news story. It's not something you necessarily want to hear, because I was hoping you and I would get a chance. We haven't had a chance to get out to Vegas. I was hoping we'd get a chance to get out there and play some of the courses in Vegas. When you play the course in Vegas, what's one of the first ones that come to your mind, Mike?
Yeah, the Wynn. Sure.
The Wynn. I mean, gorgeous course. And it's the only course that's right there on the strip. I don't have enough pictures here, but you see like the whole background of the, backdrop of the strip when you're playing. Really cool. And the sad reality is it was a profitable course. I mean, the course is making money. I think they said something to the tune of $5 million a year is what it was bringing in profit. But they found out that they can basically 10x that by by just bulldozing the place, and they're going to put together. I guess they're going to expand some of the hotels. They're also going to be putting a water park in and some other things like that. But it's just sad to see yet another, iconic course close the doors. I don't know. What are you thinking, Mike?
Never had a chance to play it, and I was hoping I could play it. And who knows? Maybe they will bring us out there to close the course down. Maybe
it's done already. I thought the same thing. They ceased operations already. I heard a little bit about this. My wife's cousin, he's a photographer with MMA, UFC photographer. Mm-hmm. So he lives out in Vegas because that's where they have most of their events. And he was telling me about it. And he's like, "Oh man, did you see that about the Wynn?" And we were talking about it just over Christmas. And yeah, it looks like effective December 17th, they ended their 12-year run, closed the doors, places shut down.
Wow. Well, that's a shame. But if you could 10x your money, I guess it's business, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Unfortunately, that's the reality of what we're seeing a lot of play, even locally. Think about it. I can think of 2 golf courses that have closed because just real estate wise, it just made more money per acre to put in upscale development. Mm-hmm. There was an awesome links course in Rockland County, Minnesiongo. I got a chance to play that a few times. I mean, gorgeous course. The clubhouse, private club, but man, was that something gone. Yep. It was a links course, lots of fescue, rolling hills. I mean, just a perfect course. But again, it's not even that it wasn't making money. They had members. It's just you get to dollars and cents.
What's funny? Minnesiongo was one of my first jobs when I was in high school.
Really? I didn't know you worked there.
Yeah, it's so funny you bring that up. I was the club cleaner. I would clean the clubs, get tips, and then I would bring the carts down to the cart barn. So I was like one of the original cart barn dudes, I guess. I would bring them down and we would hook them back up and clean them off and get them ready for the next day. But I worked there for like 3 or 4 summers, and it was great. You got to like really preview country club life at a young age. It was awesome. It was one of the greatest jobs I've ever had. And I got to play the course.
I bet you got some nice tips there.
Yeah, you did. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about it. But yeah, so I mean, that's it. I mean, I guess you're gonna start to see more and more of this as in some of these especially more denser areas, Las Vegas, things like that, where it's crowded, and you're gonna have golf courses fighting to be as profitable as some of these other possibilities. But look, that's why, and in this particular article, one of our writers, Eric Benzenberg, does a great job for the website. He made a solid point in this. He's like, this is why, like, if you've got a bucket list course, if you've got a course that you want to play, I mean, you get places that are just not going anywhere, like Pebble Beach, but even, some of the courses, maybe it's on your list of things to play. This is a perfect example of why you got to get out there and just do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Just commit to it, just play it, because you just never know.
Yeah, it's true.
You never know. Might end up disappearing. So that was a big one that came out, just kind of talking about that this week on Golficity. The other one was, and if you remember, I'm liking this because it's putting a lot towards charity. 2 weeks ago, we talked about Tiger auctioning off a private lesson. It went for about $210,000. Remember that one, Mike?
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was. So now Jack Nicholas, he's got a private dinner auctioned up. So this is your chance to play with, we arguably the GOAT. It depends on how you want to put that, but most majors, just a chance to sit down with Jack and pick his brain is ridiculous. But this is really cool. So up for auction, and I think the bidding starts at $48,000, $42,000. I'm sure it's going to go way above that. But you'll have a chance to play at his club, the Bears Club, for a few days. They got a private villa. You're going to stay there, and then one of the nights you get to sit down and have a private one-on-one dinner with Jack Nicholas. How cool is that? And it begs the question, Mike, what would be the first thing you asked him if you sat down with him for dinner?
Oh, wow. What's funny? It probably wouldn't even be golf related. It's surprisingly. I would just talk about. I don't even know. I don't even know where I would start with that conversation. I would assume just to let him start because of the nerves.
Yeah.
But as the conversation progressed, golf would be talked about. The only questions I may have, I don't even know what I would ask him with golf. There's so much to talk about there, just for his career, not to mention all his business ventures. And, I would love to pick his brain, get some advice, business advice, life advice. The guy's done a lot. He's one of the most successful sports figures. He's right up there. He's a Michael Jordan. He's a Tiger Woods as well. That kind of name. So that's something I would treasure. If it was Arnie, Jack, Arnie obviously that has passed. But if I ever had the chance to sit down with like a Jack or an Arnie or something like that in my life, even Gary Player, one of those old school classic guys like that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, just the stories that they have, the stories that they've collected over the years. Still to date, one of our podcast episodes when we got a chance to interview Gary Player. And just the energy the guy had, and just talking about how different it was, in the old days, like just even how difficult it was to play as many tournaments as he
travel,
did. Right? The travel, flying around, and we talk about the excuses that we have with our exercise routine, right? Not being able, we live such busy lives and we can't get out there. And then you got him saying there's no excuse. He's like, when I was on the golf course, I was on a plane for 20 straight hours.
Right.
But he always made time to stay physically fit. So I love that when you get to these guys who are the greatest at what they do and hear these stories. I can only imagine what that dinner would be like, and I'm sure it's going to be worth every penny. Plus, I love the fact that these guys are they don't have to do things like this, and they're contributing their time. Whether it be Tiger or Jack, this money's not going in their pocket, and they're donating their time, and it's going towards these charities that they support. We've heard it said before that golf is the most charitable sport because of how much money is raised even in private tournaments around the country and around the world. That's one of the things I love about the sport. It's just constantly giving back, and to see the greats doing it. It's something you'll love to see.
Yeah, I'd bid $1,000 alone just to play at the Bears Club.
There you go.
So
yeah, and I did multiple rounds, but you don't get around with Jack. That's the only thing.
Yeah, you might bump into someone else while you're there. DJ, Ricky. You never know.
You never know.
They're always there.
So that was a good one. And then this one, I definitely want to get you guys' take on. So definitely throw them in the comments if you have anything you want to input on this. But we had a and I think I misspoke there. Yeah, no, I didn't. This was another one by Eric Benzenberg. Another article he put out, and it was just kind of more of an editorial, an open letter, he says, to TaylorMade and Callaway to stop flooding the market. And I thought this was an interesting take. We had talked about this a little bit here. We talked about this a little bit on the podcast. And the idea that some of these major manufacturers just seem to be coming fast and furious where you almost can't keep up. I know we talked about this with Eric and with Sal when we went out and played with them in the West Point vlog. We all were kind of the same mindset that we don't rush after the latest and greatest driver because that the price is going to come down when the new ones come out. Mm-hmm. So when you have some of these companies like TaylorMade and Callaway, it seems like it's almost impossible to keep up. So we've seen some major breakthroughs like the Epic. I'm a big fan. That's kind of on my short list. I'm going to be getting some new driver in 2018. I've got a couple on my short list, the Epic being one of them, the Cobra F8 being another, because we're seeing some really cool new technology. With the Epic, it's being the jailbreak. But the problem is it doesn't seem like there's any time for it to actually sink in. All of a sudden, here you have massive success with these drivers, TaylorMade with the M1 and the M2, right? But then right out the gate for 2018, we're already hearing rumors about new drivers, and it's already moving on to that. So Callaway is starting to test their new Rogue series that's going to follow the Epic. TaylorMade already is working on their M3 and their M4. So it gets to this point. It's just like, where does it start to become where it's just saturation, where you feel like it's just too much to follow?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think about this. It actually reminds me of like this model with the iPhone, right? So, you got the 7, and then you got the 8, and then the 9, and or not the 9, but then the 10. And I kind of feel like that's where they're going with it. But a lot of other manufacturers are doing it as well. And for us, like you always say, and you talk about this all the time, like last year's model may be good enough for my game. And, even the year before that, I mean, I was playing a prior year driver that I'm still playing for the last 4 years. Now, that's probably a big mistake. And I realize that. So I definitely think that I need to upgrade. But I kind of agree with Eric with this one, that they're just kind of hitting the market with the next one, when I just want to say, what's wrong with the other one?
Right. And there are some major technological advances that we see, like we said, the jailbreak technology or the milled face.
Amateur? I mean,
yeah. I mean, what does it translate? It's not. There's nothing you're going to put in your hands that's going to give you 20 more yards. I just don't believe that. Will there be things that'll give you a little more forgiving, something to be a little bit more comfortable, give you a little bit more confidence? Sure. But you get something like, okay, so you had the speed pocket on the M2. But now the M3 and M4 are going to have something called the Hammerhead, which looks kind of, as Eric says, like a rebranded speed pocket. So what I always tell people is, if you look at it over the longer scheme, the technology really does. Although we have these minor breakthroughs every once in a while, everything still has to conform to USGA standards. So there's still only so much you can do. But the reality is, the technology really does not change that much year over year. So if I put a club in your hands that was the club to have in 2016, chances are it's still a great club for your game, is what I'm trying to say. So if you can get to that discipline to not kind of always be chasing the latest and greatest, and just, be able to have a little bit of patience, you can get that great technology maybe a year or two behind and be able to save a tremendous amount on it. But that's largely because of the fact that when you get these guys, these guys are getting it, they figure you'll throw a new one out there, but then they're cannibalizing like kind of the price of the other ones. These prices drop way down. So. Right,
exactly. And I love this comment from Edward as you're talking, when you're trying to tell anything new will get me 20 yards. Well, maybe. I mean, Frank, how long were you playing those old high school sticks from?
I'll tell you what, man, I have in my bag still, I have a TaylorMade bubble shaft 5-wood that lives on. That club is 20 something years old, and it's still sitting in my bag. And I'm real about it. I just know I don't hit my 5-wood that often. I'm more of a low iron guy. That's my thing. And it just doesn't pay to change it. I've got right next to it, I've got sitting a new Ping 3-wood that I love, but I don't need to make a change that quick. And that's where you have like some companies don't kind of follow that model. You have Ping, for instance, where they have the G series driver that came out in 2016, and they're still kind of working with that. And you start to see some little bit of changes, but I've always found that to be an interesting model. So you're going to always get some of the guys who have to have the latest and greatest, and they're going to go out there and they're going to drop $500 on a brand or this, model year. And now it almost seems like semi-annual, because every 6 months they drop something new. You're going to get the guys who got to have that, and they'll pay the $500 for it. And then you're going to have the other guys who say, that looks great. I'll wait a year, 18 months, and I'll buy it for $300, and I think that's a wise decision, personally. And that's what I'm possibly looking at doing with the Epic. I know when the Rogue series comes out, I can kind of look into getting it at a much, much more reduced price. So interesting stuff. I just wanted to get you guys' take on it and see what you thought about that. And then another thing, kind of just, switching gears a little bit, but over the holiday, it seems like the holidays, that time of year, it's always, always got somebody who takes the plunge. But Jordan Spieth getting engaged to longtime girlfriend Annie Verrett. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are just they're falling one by one. I mean, Ricky's next. It's obvious.
It seems close. Yeah. You follow him on Instagram.
I do. Hold on. Go back to that photo for a second. Bring that up. I want to look at that
Sure.
ring. This guy made like what $100 million in 26-15 or whatever. Yeah, it looks like a good one. I'd say. What do you say?
I'd say it's about a $50,000 ring right there.
Yeah,
Easy
good for him. Good for him. I mean, yeah, they've been together a long time. Makes sense.
It does, and you know what? I like this, and I'll tell you why. I mean, they've stuck it out. Jordan, as you know, we know when we run into him at some of the PGA Tour events and things like that, he's as down to earth in real life as you see him on TV. One of the nicest guys out there, and I'm not just saying that. That is the reality. You bump into him out there, I don't care who you are. He's going to be polite to you, nice guy, and all those things. Down to earth, real dude. And he's been with her since, I think, high school. He's even with the fame, nothing's changed. My prediction, I mean, both really great down to earth people. I think what you're going to see, Jordan and Annie is going to be like what we see with Jack and his wife, Arnie and his wife, you know, where later on down the road, they're together for decades and they become kind of staples of the game, you know, and just kind of good role models and things like that. I see that for these two. They're both just great people. They're down to earth people. I couldn't be happier about this. I mean, I wish them all the best, and I think it'll be great for him. I don't think it's going to affect. You're going to have some speculation. I don't think it's going to affect his game in any way. It's not going to do anything like that. He's been with her for a long time. I think it's great for him. Good to see him taking that plunge.
I mean, do you think spring break still happens with these guys? I think so.
Now that's a good question. We're starting to see, if nothing else, we're starting to see the bachelor parties roll in. So we just saw what looked like the hints of one with Smiley. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin Thomas and them down there. They love Baker's Bay. You'll see them down there. But I think you're right, Ricky. You know, we saw him get really close with who was it when he won the Players?
Oh yeah,
trying to think who that was.
Alexis Randock.
Yes, that's right. And you saw him bring her into the spotlight a little bit, but nothing like you're seeing like this with Allison Stoke. Saw him on Instagram, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas from their families to yours, like starting to talk like a very serious couple. So, hey, again, it's great. You got to figure this is going to be the progression. All these guys seem like they're running into the right kind of chicks. So,
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the age, it's the time for those guys. I mean, they're all in their mid-20s. I mean, next is the babies after that. I mean, and everything like that. So we've been there.
We've been there, man. We've done that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so good stuff. So good stuff all around. I'm excited for tomorrow. We're going to get
a quick hello from Kev in England.
Across the pond. How's it going?
Love it.
We're going to need to wrap it up, get everything going, because I am starting to get all this gear and equipment ready for tomorrow. We got all the cameras and things like that. Big day. I mean, like I said, this is going to be like a golfer's dream, so to speak, spending the day, starting with the club fitting in the morning, going through a workout training session. We're going to hit the simulator, see if they've got Bay Hill on there so you can get a couple of practice swings in, see how that goes.
We're definitely playing that if they have it, for sure.
Yeah, so we'll be down at Golf and Body all day tomorrow, and then that vlog episode should drop on YouTube maybe by Friday, Saturday. We should be able to get that out to you guys. And no podcast this week. We're going to take a much needed week off after, I think it's got to be 100 straight episodes without a break.
Yeah, I think we've gone about 2 years straight without taking a week off. I mean, you've come to the microphone with laryngitis. I think we've had flus and colds, but we don't disappoint here at the Golf Podcast. So
that's right. And then and we're going to come back real strong the week after, because the first episode of 2018 is also our 200th podcast episode. So we're going to work on getting some giveaways for that. We're going to talk about some highlights, some of our favorite things of the show over the years. So I can't wait for that episode, and definitely guys tune into that one, because we're going to try to give away whatever we can.
Yeah. Looking forward to that one.
All right, good. So let's wrap it up. Like I said, as always, if you like us on Facebook, make sure you turn on those live notifications. That way you can find out when we're going live. You can be part of the conversation by posting your comments here. If you miss any of these, the replays will be on Facebook, and we also post those on YouTube. So a lot of big stuff coming. We're going to see everybody again in 2018. If you're following us on Instagram, we'll see you tomorrow because we're going to try to do a little live session. Same thing with Snapchat. So make sure you check out @Golficity in both those places, and we'll see you there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.